However, that did not in any way satisfy the Scottish nationalists. Even though they had a parliament, that still wasn't good enough for them. What they then did when they took power in 2007 was they changed it from an executive, which suggested a devolved arm of the British Parliament, which is what Holyrood is. It's a devolved arm of the British Parliament. They changed that and they started to call themselves the Scottish Government. Now, what that did in the minds of everybody, including Unionists, was it gave the impression that Holyrood was now an equal and opposite parliament to the British Parliament. It gave the sense that there were now two governments, when in fact, as if they were both equal and opposite, existing on the same constitutional plane. When in fact, what you had and what we actually have in reality is a British Parliament at the top and the devolved parliaments underneath it in a hierarchical, in a vertical relationship where you could think of, for example, Holyrood as an arm of the body of the British Parliament. That's the correct way of thinking about it, in that manner. But what the Scottish nationalists have tried to do since they've been in power in 2007 is to change the name and give the impression that Holyrood is equal and opposite. Well, if it is indeed equal and opposite, then people are going to say, well, why isn't it independent? Why doesn't it just go its own way? And the only way the SNP can sustain that is by giving the impression that this parliament here is somehow, oppressing it and stopping it going its way. Okay, so they've changed the way we view it, when in fact what we should understand it is in its original form, which is as a triangle, with the British Parliament up here representing everybody and the devolved arms of the other places coming off that body like arms and legs. That's the correct way to understand devolution. But oh no, the Scottish National Party have perverted that understanding to make it look like, in fact, Holyrood is equal and opposite to the British Parliament, which it is not. It's not, and it was never meant to be. And that's not what devolution is about. Devolution is not about creating equal and opposite parliaments throughout the United Kingdom. The ideal theory of it is to create assemblies which can deal with local matters, while the British Parliament deals with other matters, or, if necessary, takes the final decision on certain issues when the integrity of the nation is at stake, such as, for example, when the Scottish nationalists try their referendum gig and they try to break up the United Kingdom. When they try to do that, it is entirely for the British Parliament to say no, because the British Parliament has the responsibility and the duty to keep us together as one nation.